Hey, I'm Claire,
And I'm Janice.
and this is The X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on.
We are breakup coaches here to help you beat your breakup
Heal your broken heart.
and move on to an amazing, abundant life. Welcome to this week's episode of X-Files, everyone. Yay. We are so glad that you're here because we've got another amazing guest for our guest interview series. Today, we are welcoming Paddy Then, pronouns she, her, calling in and welcoming us from Perth, Australia, for those who don't realize. Hi.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here. It's lovely.
We're excited to have you. Thank you for getting up early to do this. Thank you for what you're offering to the world. And yeah, so Paddy is an autoimmune coach, and we invited her here because we thought it would be really cool to chat about how food affects your mood, how your gut is related to your mind, how you might make some dietary tweaks during a hard time like a breakup, and just hear about what you do and what our listeners could benefit from. We're really into the self-care thing. We're really into taking care of your physical health, but we've never quite gotten into food because we're not experts necessarily, and so we're excited.
We've been eating our whole lives and somehow we're not experts. It's so weird.
I mean, same. I get it.
So thank you so much. Do you want to first, before we start, it just occurred to me, do you want to describe what an autoimmune coach is?
Sure. I'm an autoimmune support coach, and that means for anyone dealing with an autoimmune disease, they're likely going to be going on a lifelong journey where they're going to have to focus on their health, because I have 2 autoimmune diseases myself. And it was something that I realized that I needed to shift my whole life to a new focus so that I was taking care of my body with more priority rather than previously, because otherwise my symptoms would become magnified. And this is something that once you do put into place and, you have your systems, majority of the time, if you have like intermediate to low symptoms in terms of autoimmune, then you're probably going to be able to manage your life fairly well. And that's something that I would love to be able to, for other women, other people around the world, to be able to find that power again for themselves. So that's how I come in and help support them to make those changes in their lives.
Very cool. And you recently finished the Beautiful You course.
Yes, that's right.
So we were all brought together through the magic of the Beautiful You Coaching Academy, in that we all got connected online through Instagram, but didn't even realize that was how.
Yeah, we were like, this Paddy is like such a cool Instagram account, and like we're like, she's doing this amazing work. Let's reach out to her, because food was definitely something we wanted to talk about on the podcast, because I think it's when you're going through a breakup, it's so common, that cliche of like, oh, you're drinking a lot more alcohol, you're sitting there with your ice cream tub watching movies,
or
and that's okay. Combining the two.
And it's so normal. In fact, that's something that like it's recommended so often for breakups, that people should just go and buy a tub of ice cream and go get some wine and just like cry it all out, right?
So which is totally fine. And there's also I think that at some point you can kind of throttle back and say, I think that maybe I need to make a few tweaks to help me get to the next phase of the journey after the grieving is done and make myself feel amazing again. So we're gonna get into all of that. But we would really like to hear about your story, because I think that your personal story kind of led you to your coaching journey. And
absolutely,
in our kind of pre-interview communication with you, you talked about a couple times about your journey with shyness, your journey with a few different relationships, some unwanted attention, and some type of path that you had with that, and kind of getting to a point where you decided you wanted to overcome all of this and learn from it and become the confident, empowered woman that you are. So do you mind, I mean, where would you like to begin?
Oh, I'd love to. I think probably starting from the beginning would be a good place. Would be probably when I was in my teenage years. I was an extremely shy person. I remember asking for permission to even call someone on the phone from my mum, even though I was 16. And, you know, it was to a teacher. It wasn't to like any exciting person. It was just a very normal person.
Oh, interesting. Even at 16. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember that because I had grown up with lots of similar friends groups who had got carried on throughout each stage of my life. So when I finally hit university, I was in a place where obviously all new people, I had to branch out, and I probably grew up with a very good crowd of people, so that when I was introduced to people who were from very different backgrounds, I probably wasn't with the right people later on to find out.
You're just like trusting. You're like, oh,
yep.
everyone's great. No one's bad.
Oh, so many people, especially women, can relate to that.
Yeah,
exactly. And one of the things that I remember during that time in my college years, I didn't end up graduating because I, at some point in time, felt so nervous and so unconfident in classes, never being able to speak up or ask questions, or also in my friends groups during college to have predators prey on me essentially, and, you know, try and almost groom me in a way so that I would like them more. So this happened with a married man who was at the time supposed to be a friend of mine, and being very innocent, and I had no idea. I thought he was just being friendly, asking me out to tea all the time. And later on, when he confessed and he wanted to divorce his wife and essentially told me that he loved me, I was completely taken aback. And
in what stage of your college career was this?
I was probably 21.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And so you're new into college, you're struggling with shyness, and oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. And you're like, wait, what?
Exactly. Was he in your class?
He was in my sort of major. So we were studying the same topics together. So he was in a lot of my classes. So it was difficult that way. And also the friends group were like, you should stay friends with him and support him during his divorce.
Oh, God. Yeah. How's logical?
Wow.
So did you know he was married?
Yes. From the very beginning, I knew he was
married.
married.
But you just thought it was a friends thing.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Either way, for carrying it on and realizing I was just not doing well in university, dealing with these sorts of issues, and my own breakup, because I was also in love with someone, long distance relationship at the time. During that time period, it was just very tumultuous. And so I remember quitting university and just going, oh my gosh, my life is a complete utter mess.
Whoa.
So
where were you in college? Where locationally were you going to school?
So I was going to my local university here in Perth, Western Australia.
Okay, but your partner was where?
My partner was in Philippines.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so wait, where are you from originally? What's with the accent?
So I'm Australian, pretty much, because I was born in Malaysia, but I came to Australia when I was 2 years old.
Girl, I lived there for over 5 years. I thought you were from the UK.
Oh, wow. I have been told that I sound a little bit British, probably when I get a little polite.
Oh, okay. I hope that's okay that I asked, because I was like, where in the story, is the boyfriend in the UK? And she goes,
perfectly fine. No, I can pull out my Aussie accent if you want.
I mean, it's up to you.
Aussie.
Okay. All right. Assumptions. And I wanted to ask when we were doing the pre-chat, and I just thought I'm gonna wait for it to come out.
Oh my gosh. See, it's tough.
Completely fair.
Fascinating. So. Okay. All right. Cool. So your partner's in the Philippines. You're going to your local school in Perth, and amongst all of that, so you realize that your long distance relationship wasn't working.
Yes.
Simultaneously dealing with semi breaking up with
unwanted
a married man.
Yeah. Unwanted advances.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. So at that time, the long distance relationship that I was in, it So they cheated on me. So she cheated on me. And
Aw.
then she decided that she would keep pulling me along by still like saying, yes, maybe things will turn out well. And
Oh, if
yeah,
it's meant to be, it'll be.
exactly. So
Yeah.
those sorts of
Oh, I'm
messages.
sorry.
Was there
No,
an
I mean-
element of somehow getting through the forgiveness of what she had done would strengthen the bond or the relationship?
No, because I think at that point in time, it was the end of it. She was like, even though I don't want to be with the person she cheated with, she was like, this is not going well. I think it's too far of a distance. And I think it
Mhm.
was just a very different value system at the end of the day, because I had actually booked flights to go see her. And it was the first time I'd meet her. And so I had been willing to do that. So, and then for her to be like, no, I don't think this is going to work, utterly crushed me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So you were like a sheltered,
Yes, very sheltered.
young woman coming out
Yes.
into the world, and suddenly like you're getting a crash course in what the world can offer to people.
Exactly.
Shit.
Yeah.
So how long had you considered yourself to be together with this person, even though you hadn't met?
Mhm.
So we'd been together for probably close to a year at that point in time.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so consistently calling, messaging, talking to each other.
Yeah, very real.
Yeah, very real. So to me, I was like, okay, cool, great, let's meet. And then the news that I was told was heartbreaking.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. So then you're like, okay, what do I do? Quit school, and what next? Like how do you bounce back from that?
I think it was the knowledge that everywhere I was right now at that point in time was just the wrong place for me. And so acknowledging that I probably needed a fresh start and finding myself was huge. I remember being really angry for a long time about both of those big incidences. And I think that definitely kickstarted me into changing who I was and being more confident and putting myself in situations where I would have to use my own gut feeling to be able to understand and trust other people. Because I think when you have two such huge sort of events happen to you, you question yourself for a long time and you go, was I right? Was I okay in trusting these people? So
and who can I trust? How do I even go about meeting
how do I trust
people?
my gut? Yeah.
No pun intended.
Foreshadowing.
But I've heard this even recently from people who want to start dating again after having things like this happen, and just saying, I don't even know how to meet someone because all I want to do is, ask them what they think about fidelity, or ask them what they think about, moving
Would you
to
ever
another
cheat?
like, wow,
right,
first
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the tough thing about trust, is that it is like kind of, it's something built over time, but it's also like you give a little and you see what happens, and then you give a little more and see what happens, and it's built over time, but you have to give it in order to know whether it's safe or not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very, very true. Absolutely. But I think to make it a more of an exciting and happier sort of
I don't know, it's exciting so far, but let's get to the happy.
Okay, so I went on a pretty much like a self-discovery journey, and I'm always still on a self-discovery journey, because I think that we're evolving people. And I think, to talk about the ex in a lovely way, she was someone that always was ever changing herself and always looking to reinvent herself. So I definitely believe that I took that on myself to try new things, to try new activities. I remember signing up for Bikram yoga, and it was crazy hot 40-degree heat, and it's just knowing, look, like if I can do this, then I can be just as good as her, or something like that. So.
Okay, all right. And do you still do Bikram?
I do, but not for those reasons.
Okay, all right, I'm just interested. I mean, I think there's two people in the world: those who love it and those who are gonna throw up.
Oh, yeah, I get that completely. Yes.
That's amazing. Okay, very cool. All right,
thank you. So I spent probably a good 5 or 6 years working instead and meeting a whole bunch of different people once again, but understanding in a professional zone that obviously, you can trust people, you can make friends and all sorts of different characteristics, and also the general understanding of how to take care of yourself, which as a sheltered young girl, I never really had. And so I started looking at many different areas of my life, my physical education, my eating habits, my ways of actually, dealing with my own finances. And all of this really, really helped in terms of giving me my own power to feel like, oh, hey, you are strong enough to get into a new relationship again. You are you are your own self again. And that was a really lovely way for me to sort of recognize. And then eventually when I healed, I tried new relationships.
Yeah. And that's like, I think this is a message that we're always trying to drive home, in that it's, these breakups, they're so hard and they're so devastating. And yet it's having those moments where you have to overcome something that seems so insurmountable to prove, after that, you walk down the street, you're like, throw anything my way, I'm good. Like, I know how to take care of myself. Like, yeah, I'll date again. Cause if it turns out I can't trust you, whatever, I'll be fine.
I'll be fine, which I love that you combine the financial with the health. And I mean, I'm on a similar path right now, or have been, of just like depending on me and figuring out all the little aspects of adulting that for some reason when I was in relationships younger, I never fully I never fully embraced or learned, for lack of a better word.
No, and that's something that I found in most relationships nowadays. They're often a mirror to what you are and what you need, perhaps. And so it's really, really fascinating to sort of see the type of people that we choose or are drawn towards, and what that says about us in a way too. So,
oh yeah, that self-reflection.
Absolutely.
I love it. Wow. And so it was during this time that you started to become interested in food, and its role in your health. And I mean, I'm guessing you discovered your own like autoimmune struggles during this time, or have you always had them and realized you could manage them better? How did that come into it?
So I was diagnosed officially probably 2 years ago, but I had always actually seen some signs of my autoimmune disease pop up, and I just never knew that it was an autoimmune disease, because only really 2 years ago did it really flare up to the point where I was like, this is a huge concern. Yeah. I was, I think, turning 30, and I had realized that I had this rash on my neck that had for 4 years had lingered, and it was like maybe the size of a thumb to grow to the point of majority of the back of my neck. And it was huge, and you couldn't see it because obviously my hair kept it down. But for me, I knew that I was when I would stress, I would go to scratch it, and it was getting to a point where it was something like almost an auto response for me. And that was something that I was like, this is a bad idea, this is getting worse and worse. So I need to get it sorted and checked out. But the symptoms of autoimmune diseases actually show up for many people way earlier. And I had like tiny spots and rashes around, and I had back issues for many years previously. I just never connected the dots. So so recognizing those things was a really good thing to check in with myself and go, okay, no, I'm gonna really focus down and take good care of myself and eat better along the way. So
had you made the connection between eating and your health or your wellness or this possible condition before this? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I think so. Well, not necessarily for my disease itself, but I remember starting early on, from probably after I broke up with that first girl, that I wanted to change how I was eating too, because I remember I was dealing with a lot of acne. I had cystic acne all over my face, and so that didn't help with my confidence. And that was one big thing, trying to clear it up and trying to find alternatives. And that was me learning how to drink water. I started looking up all of the people who had improved their skin, what friends who had done to improve their well-being, what they did, and just following their habits, like drinking so much water, doing exercise, which, oh my gosh, Wow, exercise.
Yeah, we're fans.
We're fans.
Awesome. So you go to the doctor, you get the rash checked out, which I actually didn't know this was a symptom of autoimmune. I'm now like, I don't know if anyone else is thinking like, what weird skin stuff do I have?
Yeah. Well, autoimmune disorders, I mean, I was actually just this year diagnosed with one, so yay, fine. We could talk later. But you know, the explanation I got for it is like, it's like they come in a whole range of shapes and sizes, and it's kind of like we don't really understand, but the body is for some reason attacking itself.
Exactly.
And I have questions too that I'd like to ask you about, but not on air. So
we keep some things private, guys.
Right.
We'll talk about our romantic lives, but not our health conditions. So that's fine.
not now. So you go to the doctor. So how do you get to the point of thinking I want to help other people with this?
Absolutely. So I went to the doctor, found out the news. I'd Google searched a lot of it, Reddit searched, and I was like, okay, so it's true. And so the two that I have are psoriasis and I have psoriatic arthritis. So for me, that's the skin peeling and the ulcers and whatnot happening, and also my body having arthritis inside of it. So my back being really, really tight and sore and unable to move, and my hips having joint pains, even though I'm only 30, those sorts of things. So when it comes to me trying to change all of that to take care of myself, one of the actions that I took was through reading a lot of information from many other people suffering from similar diseases, was that they decided to eat a lot cleaner. So they went on elimination diets, which for anyone who is listening is not a fad diet specifically to lose weight or anything. It's more about checking to see what foods are causing inflammation in your body, what is reacting for your body. And so I did that. I took out gluten, dairy, and a lot of refined sugars for me, and that has calmed my symptoms to 80%. So I only have very mild symptoms nowadays. So
I'm a big fan. I'm gluten intolerant and gluten free for 4 or 5 years now, and I wish people knew the difference that it can make.
And for some people it isn't an issue. And that's the thing with the elimination diet is I believe you take it out for a certain period of time and then you try adding things in one at a time and see how you feel, because we're driving these like machines around and they all kind of run differently on different fuel types.
Yes.
It's very true. Absolutely. Some people have an amazing response, and after even healing, allowing their gut to heal over maybe 6-9 weeks, they can go back to eating everything, and that's fantastic for them. But for some people like me, maybe Janice, this is a case where, you know, if we eat these foods, then we have these reactions that causes problems with our body. And so that was something I did for a whole year, and people were like, what, you went sugar-free for a year?
Well, I mean, that is quite nuts. How do you drink coffee without your sugar?
Well, I don't drink coffee.
Or don't drink it.
I drink tea.
Too.
So.
Yes. You mentioned it in your in the questions we ask prior to interviews as well about tea. Drink some tea. So that's awesome. What's your favorite tea?
Oh my gosh. I think, well, I'm an unusual case, but I do Japanese tea ceremony. So I drink ceremonial matcha quite often. And so for me, that's my go-to,
fancy.
I would say. A little bit fancy.
I love that. All for it. So you do your elimination diets, you find out what is not working for you, which is really what it's about. Let's just be honest. And so then what?
I went on a whole year of just doing it straight. And then I realized, look, a lot of people struggle with doing any sort of diet change. And that was something that I was like wanting to help others with, because some of my friends have autoimmune diseases and I could see that they were really struggling. And food was one huge area that they just were not being able to pay attention to or even be able to change. And it's not even about that food sometimes. It's a lot about your environment. It's a lot about the people you surround yourself with.
Yes.
And those changes become very difficult when you're faced with changes in your environment, the people that you talk to, and the lack of support sometimes that you don't get.
We're social creatures. And food is such a social thing as
People
well.
feel really threatened by other people's diet choices.
I was vegan for 4 years, so I am, it's like you're attacking someone by not eating the meat or whatever, you know, and it's like, I don't care what you do. I'm not doing it. Like
exactly. So I realized that, wow, like I was lucky enough that I was decided to surround myself with people who were supportive, or moved away from people who weren't supportive. And that was something I realized, some of these people just don't have anyone to be able to talk to about these sorts of things, or even to know the first step towards changing their diet, or even how to sort of change their environment so that they could live a more health focused life. And that was something I was like, okay, I can do that. I mean, I've gone on this whole self-development journey. I've spent time in a workplace that also did things like workshops on changing habits, on self-development, on time management. And so I know all of these things, and I wanted to be able to share that with other women who just didn't know how to deal with it.
That's so awesome. And that's kind of what we're doing, but in a different
it's like
it is quite similar, you know, like, oh wow, I found what works.
Supporting people when they don't have the support system in their own lives, you know. That's the beauty of the internet, is you can find your people.
You can find your people. Very for true. Sure.
Oh, wonderful. So how has it gone so far?
It's gone really well.
Oh, good.
It absolutely has. And I think so in terms of me, my body, it's going fine. And now I'm more the focus on maintaining and changing. And also now for my clients, it's something that I'm really, really excited to work with them on, because a lot of them reach out to me and go, hi, I have problems with my gut initially. And we start that connection immediately, but then we move on to sort of, have you looked at your stress? Have you looked at your work? Have you looked at sort of the place that you live in, the people you support yourself with? And it becomes an overall look at their life, rather than just going, okay, what should I eat to change my reactions?
It's holistic.
It's holistic. People would say it's holistic.
Exactly.
And that's, I think, why we wanted to have you on, and to bring this back to, you know, supporting people through breakups, is that you know, like through the podcast, we're like, okay, like get your support system in place, get the education in place so you understand what's happening to you, because just having that understanding can help give you that sense of control.
Absolutely.
And you know, another piece that can help you feel better, like we always talk about exercise and how it's like releasing endorphins, and it's a way to like chemically get yourself into a better place, change your state when you're feeling really, really low. And, you know, junk food and alcohol can help you in the short term. It'll give you that spike of feel good stuff from like the fat or sugar or alcohol or whatever.
Stress through
booze. You know, and it's a comfort food. But, you know, over time, if you're overusing these things, you can end up feeling much more sad and like depressed. Not like, I'm not using that as like a clinical term, but you know, feeling depressed from your breakup, because you're also, your body's just going through kind of a lot of stuff from all the junk that you're putting in it. And so, you know, part of like recovering and giving yourself the best chance of having a good day every day, you know, is looking at your food piece as well.
Exactly. It definitely is, I would say, a foundation that you build on. And when you find that, when you're in an emotional place, that your body is not going to act the way it normally does. So already you are in a place of, you know, struggle, because you've got all these stress signals being sent throughout your body, and you might feel anxious by accident if you see your ex and then you freeze up, and your body freezes up too. It's not just a brain thing. Your actual body is intuitive to what's happening in your emotion level too.
Mhm.
And so absolutely, when you spend too long perhaps eating foods that are perhaps not overall going to be nourishing for your body, then you're going to find that your body also is working at a subpar level, which is a really sad thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you've gotten into these bad habits after a breakup, where do you think you should begin to shift course or change course? And then I want to get back and talk more about the gut.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, the gut.
So,
we're so excited about the
Yeah.
gut.
yeah, sure. I would say when you are maybe in what you believe are bad habits, one of the great things that you can do is immediately just to first of all pay attention to what those bad habits are. So you might be thinking you overeat. Okay, maybe that's fine because you're nourishing yourself. But is that a way to self-comfort, or is that a way to sort of actually feed yourself? So you need to notice the two differences between that. And if you need to nourish yourself and you're feeling scared and you're feeling unloved, what are some other ways you could do that too? Not only overeating, that's fine. Maybe you need to carry that on for a bit longer until your mind understands it. But maybe you could supplement it with something else too. So nourishing yourself with food, but also nourishing yourself with lots of good company that you love, or nourishing yourself with, some exercising that you actually find really exciting to try. Like when you add new good things into your life, those bad habits actually slowly fade themselves out over time. And that's also in that transformation that you'll get when you are moving towards becoming this new person after a breakup, because essentially you are going to be completely different after a breakup. Another thing that I would do as a more concrete way of sort of seeing how these habits are happening would be, and I love this, I saw this from one of your, well, didn't see it, but I was listening to you, Janice, about this episode, but your journaling. Start journaling about your habits and start paying attention to what's going on with you. Because the more you do that, the more you are taking that focus away from your ex and back onto you, which is the most important thing during this time.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So it's really about
So
processing in a healthy way, and that is going to lead to, quote, better habits and decisions. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, the more that you process something, the more that you get it out of your system, the more that you focus on yourself, the more that you will just naturally be wanting to nourish yourself with food in a healthier, more beneficial way.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
Good.
So good.
Thank you. So should we dive into the gut?
Sure.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
So how did you become interested in gut health? And also, can you explain to anyone who might always see people posting on Instagram about gut health and how it's the quote unquote second brain, how this actually works?
Okay. So, where do I even start? Okay. I'll talk about
It's up to you, girl.
Anywhere you want.
Okay. Well, because I have my autoimmune diseases, I found out that part of the reason why I have my psoriasis on my neck was inflammation. So inflammation was going wild in my body. And then for anyone who wants to know, psoriasis is basically skin cells that keep building up upon itself. So it creates a scale in your body. And then it's because your body's like attacking itself essentially, because there's holes in your body and then it gets angry and then things happen. Which is not a scientific way of going about that sort of explanation. But
holes on the body.
Layman's terms. It's all good.
Yeah, layman's terms. But it happens starting out first and foremost in your gut, because the food that you feed your gut is going to help either protect and support all of those sorts of signals that are being sent to the rest of your body. And when you have a leaky gut, such as what I had problems with, for example, things like indigestion in all sorts of areas. Those symptoms and those signals to me were something I wasn't paying attention to whatsoever. So when you start to pay attention to how your gut feels, and when you start to convert some of the food that you eat, like I mentioned, gluten-free, dairy-free, and sugar-free, I started healing essentially my gut inside. And I also supported that, not just doing that by itself, but also things like probiotics, or making sure that I was more aware of when I was eating enough, so I wasn't overloading my gut in those sorts of cases too. And
I think that can be tricky for people during breakups. Sometimes.
Exactly.
Overeating or
being
just
in
really
your body
getting into the
too.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's like you don't want to be in your body when you're feeling so much. So
and when you're feeling, satiated by food, and that you're being, kind of distracted from your pain or stress because of pleasure, you can overdo it.
Yeah, and it
Absolutely.
can go the other way too with under
Mhm.
eating as well. Yeah.
That is, my thing for sure.
Aw.
Not eating. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
And I think
And
so normal. I mean, I am definitely the type that would overeat, and my sister, who went through an eating disorder, would definitely underate. So these sorts of cases happen for many women around the world. And I think the more we talk about it, the more chances we have of helping each other deal with these sorts
Yeah.
of
Oh, it's so
problems.
true. I've never even thought to bring up my eating and breakup thing, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. Maybe it's something we should talk about more. So
Yeah.
when you found yourself overeating, did you, correlate the experience you had with overeating during a breakup with your experience learning about your gut? When did you make that connection?
So I remember at that time I was getting really emotional because I was going through, this was probably 2 years ago, going through a new relationship, which was very ups and downs, on and off all the time. And I remember that I would, in times of stress, I would eat a lot, and that would eventually see my gut and my psoriasis show up even more and more and more, because the 2 years in which it really flared up, it really started to react and grow from there. And so I could see signs from overeating to not being in control of sort of my own understanding of what was happening, and then to have it grow and get more embarrassed, and it'd be a constant loop of this sort of behavior, and realize, okay, look, I need to stop. And the funny thing is that I stopped seeing this person not long after. I started deciding that, this relationship wasn't as good for me as I thought it was. And instead, I decided to really focus on myself. And funny enough, my psoriasis has cleared up pretty well since. So,
That's awesome.
yes, like stress. I mean, the nervous system and how the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous
Yes,
system. I know it's like when
exactly.
you're under stress, all your blood is getting diverted to, like your heart and your limbs and away from your digestion, because it doesn't matter if you digest that meal if you're dead. You have to run away from the tiger, right?
It freezes. It just
yeah,
freezes.
yeah, it just freezes. So yeah, if you're especially under a long-term stress of a tumultuous relationship, like things are not working for a long time,
Totally.
you're going to have some problems. So, any way that you can take care of yourself during a stressful time to minimize the effects of that stress. Like sometimes it's not possible to just avoid stress,
No. We need stress in a way to move us forward in life, but consistent, overwhelming amounts of stress, no, we don't need that.
Yeah.
No,
Give yourself
no
a
one needs
break.
that. So as far as gut health and stress and a breakup, are there any just very basics that you might suggest?
Yeah.
As far as, even if you're not necessarily sure, like this is what I need, what are maybe 3 things that you might consider during this
Yeah,
time?
and let me add on to that. Like I think if you're already into health, this probably isn't new information to you. So maybe these would be like things that would be implementable for someone who's like really never dove into this
Sure. Yeah.
before.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Completely fair. Absolutely. So if you are finding that you're not sure about how your gut's going, one of the things that I would start out would be sort of taking note of what you eat. So what are you eating? Is it something that you personally feel is giving your body enough energy? Is it giving it enough support? Do you feel like you are feeling good after eating it? Because often we eat junk food and it's great at the time, and afterwards, immediately after, some of us feel quite sick afterwards,
Yeah.
right? And I still do that. I have chips. It's normal. It's very normal. But your body doesn't.
Yeah, my body just like completely starts to shut down once I have chips, because I do it so rarely.
Yeah.
I love it, but yeah, I
and
definitely
it
get
might be, like my boyfriend has a really terrible diet, and I don't think he really notices how he feels after he eats certain things, because he eats them so frequently that's just how life is. And I'm like, you'd feel so much
like
better.
feeling sluggish, after
Exactly.
when he starts to digest
just
it.
like
Totally.
stomach. Yeah. And so keep it, notice also if you start feeling good and like look back at the day and be like, what did I do where I felt good? And it's like, well, you drank a lot of water today.
Yes, I recently stopped eating Cheerios in the morning, and it was so hard, but I just had a feeling that it was something I needed to do, and now I'm doing all this whole food stuff for breakfast, and it does definitely put a skip in my step. Rather than just like feeling satisfied, because oh man, there's nothing like a big bowl of Cheerios.
I love Cheerios.
I completely understand.
But it just it just wasn't doing it for me. I'm thinking of maybe just keeping a box like for the weekend or something
as like a dessert treat thing.
Absolutely. You shouldn't fully tell yourself no, because the moment you do, you just freak out and you want it even more.
It had become a daily thing, and so I did need to kind of just make a go cold turkey, but now I'm kind of at the point where I think I could just do it once in a while. Like I was like craving it every night when I get into bed with my Netflix. All of a sudden I would also feel like I needed Cheerios, and I'm not there anymore, so maybe I can reintroduce it.
Absolutely. I think that that's such a classic thing that happens. Like we associate food with an emotion and a habit, and then it just becomes this consistent thing that always happens. Like
I was getting to the point where I couldn't even fall asleep without
you were like
the bowl.
Cheerios.
Yes, exactly, because it would get in my mind.
Exactly. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how that happens. And I think that when you so going back to what things that people could do in terms of recognizing how they can like improve their gut health and their health in terms of eating, I would say once you pay attention to how your gut's feeling more, and that's something that you always should in general, be it gut feelings about people or about food. Use your gut, guys. It's very important.
Use your guts.
Yeah, absolutely. And things like, for example, healing it, things like eating a few more probiotics, not like necessarily the pills, but start introducing things like, for example, if you have never had yogurt before, yogurt has a lot of microbacteria that is actually great for the stomach. Or maybe areas like maybe trying different foods. If you have more biodiversity in the foods that you're eating, your body's going to be happier because it's going to be able to learn new things and try things out and improve what's happening inside.
Oh, talk about that. I've never really thought about that. And I mean, not to keep bringing this back to me, but I'm also like the type of person who eats the same thing day in and day out.
Yeah.
So tell me about how that works.
So if you keep eating the same things and you find that your body's not getting nutrients it needs, especially if you keep consistently changing what your lifestyle is going to be, then that's not helping your body. But if you start introducing a little more change, a little more biodiversity, your body's actually going to develop more immune system. It's going to be able to develop new sort of bodies against sort of sicknesses, illnesses, and give you that energy to continue all of the exercises and the changes that you're making. So when you are dealing with a breakup, it's fun to try different things. And I highly recommend you go and try different sorts of restaurants, or ask your friend to try a dish that they cooked. Or maybe grab a vegetable that you've never even seen before and Google what you could cook with it.
Oh, very cool. What's an unusual vegetable? Like purple cauliflower or celery root? Even a mango. Some people don't eat mangoes all the time.
Yeah.
What do you think, Claire?
Try dragon fruit.
Dragon fruit.
Yeah, because it's not just like the nutrients in the plant. I think it's like also the types of bacteria that grow on them, where they're from, what soil they're grown in. It's like, as if you're sourcing from lots of different areas, you have more of a chance to fill in any gaps.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I never even thought of this before. Amazing.
Mind blown.
Thank you. I know. Now I feel like I'm gonna drop dead because I am very much in a routine with my diet.
I am the same way, but
it's springtime here, so what can we? So maybe like making a game of it almost.
Exactly.
What can you introduce?
Or just trying new places too. Sorry to cut you off.
No, perfectly fine. Exactly. Try new places. Sometimes I talk with some of my my followers on Instagram and I go, oh, I've got this new food that I'm trying. Any recipes from anybody? Any recommendations, and I love doing that. That's really, really fun with everyone. It becomes a game, and then we can cook recipes together. So absolutely.
Oh, that's so cool.
Very cool. We got to go on Instagram Live, and maybe you can just surprise us with a food someday.
Guess what this is called?
I mean, there's different produce in Australia that we don't necessarily have here in the States.
This is true.
I mean, dragon fruit being a good example. You know, like not a lot of people pick that up at the store all the time.
No. Have you guys heard of kiwi berries?
No.
Guess not.
So they're apparently
it's a kiwi and a berry?
Exactly. So it's like a grape-sized kiwi without the furry skin.
Without the skin?
Yes.
Oh! You don't have to skin them. Oh my gosh.
Is it slimy on the outside?
No.
It's just got like a grape
skin? It's like a grape skin. Yeah. And it tastes like a kiwi. So
oh my God, I need some of those.
We need this in our lives.
Oh my gosh. That's so cool.
I've never seen that here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, hopefully it'll make its way over to you guys soon.
Yeah, totally.
New types of fruits.
Very cool.
Ooh,
I mean,
I love it.
Yeah, very neat. All right. I love this. I've never thought of introducing new foods as a way to improve your body's ability to fight against germs, your body's ability to stretch in different ways. And also, I never even thought of it really as a way to have fun with a breakup. So
yeah.
Especially,
I mean, if you had a partner who was always eating the same things, think of it as a way to be like, hey, I'm doing things that you've never done before.
Yeah, go to like different exotic places for dinner that you'd never visited with your ex, and you're not only like expanding the places that you've been and the people watching and all of that, but you're also getting some different like spices and nutrients and foods and all of that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, so good.
A lot of people talk about going to farmers markets solo after a breakup. And I would say, you know, don't just go over the cheese samples, you know, go and buy a new cheese, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun.
Or even having the fun of like even touching the vegetables and starting to notice them, and or even just seeing where your food comes from. Those sorts of things are so important also when you're looking at taking care of yourself, because the more you appreciate the food and where it comes from, the more you're going to actually sit and actually really enjoy eating it when it comes to nourishing yourself with different foods.
Right. Yeah. I think that's why, you know, we even call it fast food, is because, you know, we're just so disconnected from, you know, how it got in front of us, that, yeah, people don't really savor it. They're just kind of using it to, you know, hit the spot, rather than, you know, enjoying the meal.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, if anyone disagrees, please let me know.
No. I think that's so true. Absolutely.
So if you had any advice to share with our listeners, like anyone who's hurting right now, what would that be?
So if you're really struggling right now with breakup, I would say, first of all, one of the things that is probably one of the hardest steps, but forgive yourself for every small thing that you can possibly do, because you are going to think back so often to all of the things that you did. And the truth is, you tried your best in that moment to do the thing that you thought was right. And everyone is generally always so hard on themselves after a breakup. They go back and go, what could I have done? What could I have changed? But really, even if you could go back and change it, it wouldn't necessarily fix anything, right? So what you can do right now is you essentially just need to forgive that heart that you have that's broken right now and go, it's okay. I am sad that this happened and I want to cry and yell, and that's okay. But also, if I don't forgive me, I'm never ever going to be able to forgive them. And also I'm never ever going to be able to move on from that. So forgiveness is one of the hard steps, but I would definitely say start small. Don't go big on like, yep, that's it. We're good. Everything's fine. But start by even saying, okay, I tried really, really hard with being the best sort of girlfriend I could be to my ex and making time for his family. And I missed that relationship between me and his family, but I did the best I could at the time. Right. So those sorts of small things, start out with there and even make amends with some of it. Write it out, like you said, Janice. Write a letter to your ex. Don't necessarily give it to them, but write it out to yourself. So I think that's a beautiful first step to do.
Yeah. Oh, that's
we
so
just
good.
recorded another episode earlier with just the two of us, and that was a big thing that we said too, is go easy on yourself and just always be in a place of forgiveness when you do things that you know in retrospect maybe you would have done differently. And I mean it's just, it doesn't really get you anywhere to stay fixated on regret.
Yeah.
Especially when it involves relationship with another person. It just becomes this amalgam of kind of nastiness.
Yeah.
And it keeps you stuck in the mud.
Yeah. You didn't know then what you know now. So, just being like, oh, like looking at that past self as like, that was me. But I am a different person now. And you can kind of, forgive that younger version of yourself like you would forgive a younger version of anyone else, probably.
And I think it's especially true when it comes to things like diet or drinking. I often speak with people who say either I drank too much or, it's all I feel like doing, or, and I'm a failure, or I'm not taking care of myself and I feel horrible about it. And, even that, you're taking care of the moment, and right then it was what you needed to do. Exactly. The only thing you can control is the next time you feel stressed. So maybe you'll choose a different option, but you actually, took care of yourself at that time.
One of the things I really like telling some of my clients is that imagine you were saying those sorts of things to a friend of yours.
Yeah.
Like, how could you say that to a friend? How could you say you're a drunk? How could you criticize them? And if that's something you wouldn't say to a friend, then so maybe you should treat yourself as a friend that way. Treat yourself as a younger sibling of your own. And okay, so you did this, that's fine. That's what you thought was best. That's what you needed to survive in this moment. So it's okay. You can try again next time.
Yes, definitely. Especially with all this good information from Paddy. All right. I really love that. And thank you so much for sharing. I thought that it might be fun to end with some practical, fun food talk. So, first of all, I think that sometimes starting the day out right is important when you're going through a breakup, a stressful time, a broken heart, learning to live alone again, learning to live with family members during the transition. And I have difficulty with breakfast, always have. So can you give maybe some suggestions for just go-to easy, gut healthy early morning food?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I personally start out with making some sort of hot drink, or depending on what type of season it is, it's up to you. But for me, I personally have tea in the morning. It, for me, is a really good way to slowly wake up my digestive system, and gets me also having that time to sort of take care of myself, slowly get into the day's processes, rather than rushing into any sort of interaction with anybody or work that you have. Yeah. And be it your coffee or sort of a tea, or for example, some people love their smoothies, and that's perfectly fine. Absolutely. Smoothies are a fantastic way, sort of, if you want, for example, to be more gut friendly, have some probiotic yogurt, throw in there, have it with fruit, a little bit of muesli. That's perfectly fine. Those are some beautiful ways to sort of take that time for yourself and sort of slowly start the day, rather than overwhelming with, I used to eat a lot of leftovers immediately. And I found that was a really not really great way to start my day, because I would eat quite a large meal, which was leftover from the day before.
In the morning?
In the morning.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that actually wasn't really good for me at all, because I also found that I'd immediately start out with a heavy, heavy stomach. And so I wouldn't have the energy to be able to do the things that I wanted to do in the morning. And I already was setting myself up with this emotional feeling of, oh, I've eaten poorly, I have ruined the rest of the day sort of feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. I've found that too. It's a lot easier for me to be healthy, like eat good whole foods throughout the day if I start with that. Exactly. If I start with something just meh, then I kind of continue wherever I start,
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
true.
why is that? I don't.
It's your mind talking to you. So that's part of the reason why in like the army they tell you to make your bed every morning, because what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for an accomplishment in the very beginning of the day.
Yeah.
And it has this cascading effect for your mind. If I can do this one thing, I can do another small thing, another small thing, another small thing, another small thing.
Right, and that's why I very, very rarely start the day without at least a short meditation, because it just it feels like you gotta clear the cobwebs before you get going.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's amazing to be able to set yourself up for that sort of meditation to calm your mind and slowly start the day. I think that's beautiful. It's a really, really wonderful way to sort of help anybody going through a breakup, or in general, if you have a stressful life that you feel. So in terms of specific foods, I would say small things: tea, coffee, some sort of liquid to hydrate yourself after however many hours you've been sleeping. And then also having some sort of light food. I personally love rice crackers, because I'm gluten-free rice crackers, and a little bit of peanut butter with some seeds on it to get me sort of a little bit more versatility in what I'm eating rather than just peanut butter. And I also love to have some fruits in the morning with some of my kefir, which is a probiotic also. And I just chuck some frozen berries into there, some bananas, make up a smoothie if I want. Or sometimes I'll make my homemade granola, which is based off whatever I want. And it's really fun to sort of pop in and you just enjoy it. But really, you can go for, some eggs if you want, really sort of vegetables if you find that, for example, avocado on toast is also a really lovely way to start the day for many people.
Yes, I love that. What types of seeds do you suggest?
Yeah, so many. Well, try them out. Like, try all of the fun seeds out. For example, I've got hemp seed on mine. I've got sesame seeds. I've got pepita seeds. I've got sunflower seeds. I love trying different
Very
sorts of
cool.
seeds.
I love this
So,
suggestion. I haven't thought of that. I like it.
For example, hemp seeds actually really help with dealing with periods, because it actually helps with your mood change. So actually having hemp seeds is a really great way to sort of, if you're having a period coming soon, it's a great way to sort of help balance that.
And they're so
I'm gonna try that.
to eat. They just kind of go with everything. I love
they're not so they're kind of like, they're not like soft, super hard crunchy, if that makes sense. They're kind of soft and nutty-ish. Cool. So
gonna add it to my shopping list.
I mean, because that was a thing for thank you. I'd love to talk about dinner as well, because my problem after my breakup with my ex-fiance is that he was the cook, and I didn't know really how to take care of myself anymore with food, because he just liked cooking, and it was always like really healthy and good, and I'm the type of person, I go into the kitchen and I try to use the fewest utensils and plates and pots as possible,
and we also
to an absurd degree.
I have one pan, girl. So and we also hear from people who are doing a little bit of the flip, where they used to really enjoy cooking for their ex, and now they're living alone and they just can't really get into it, or they cook a lot and then don't have the ability to eat it all. So what are similar to the question about breakfast, I'm glad you brought this up, Claire. What are some fun go-tos for dinner?
Ooh, okay. So let's maybe split that in half for like people who are not really not really fans of cooking.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe not really fans of cooking or just sort of wanting to try it out. I would say, like Claire does, start simple. Start simple with like as few ingredients as possible. Because even if you like, maybe some of you have seen Jamie Oliver's books on like 5 ingredients, just start with there. Because then you can look at a recipe and sort of see what actually is going to be created from like so many different recipes from just one ingredient, and then experiment from there and then try it out. I would even say record it, write it down, make notes, because that becomes fun for you. It becomes more of an experiment. It becomes less about just feeding yourself that you have to do it and the memories associated with it. It becomes a fun activity for yourself. And Claire, I get you, because I sometimes don't want to eat everything and have so many like dishes to wash. I just chuck everything into a pot. So one of my go-tos on really simple days is noodles in a pot or some sort of hot pot, which I chuck as many vegetables, mushrooms, pasta, the gluten-free pasta, not noodles, gluten-free noodles. Sorry, not pasta. Pasta sounds atrocious with a hot pot, but
so by hot pot, what do you mean?
Sorry, apologies.
No apologies. I just want to make sure it's totally fine. So do you mean crock pot, like a slow cooker?
No. So saucepan on the pan.
Add
hot water. Add a little bit of, if you have stock, great. If you don't, add things like a little bit of sesame oil or some garlic, and just start adding vegetables in there. So like chopped up some cabbage, or if you have any sort of like kale, broccoli, chuck that in, and then start adding
a stir fry. Is this a stir fry?
No.
What do you mean by hot pot?
Boiling water.
So this is probably an Asian dish, but
gotcha.
You just chuck meat, vegetables, and then basically make up a hot pot of different vegetables and meat inside of it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Chuck your sauces in, and then essentially that's a meal done for you.
So then do you strain it?
No, because you enjoy the soup with it.
You're making like kind of a soup. Gotcha. Okay.
Ooh.
It sounds good, actually. I love for this. Yeah.
Try it out. Look up hot pots. There's so many different types of recipes for them, and you can add all sorts of meats into them: chicken, beef, or even if you want all sorts of little like fish balls. Those are pretty fun because they taste different depending on.
So everything's boiled.
Okay.
All right. I like that tip.
Really simple. That's something.
Yeah, lots of flavors.
Exactly. Something I love to do. Or stir fries. Stir fries are really great and easy. And if you're not sure about how to cook something, great way to start learning how to chop vegetables, how to prepare those sorts of foods, how to season meat before you put it into a stir fry. That's giving you the basic essentials from when you're starting out from a breakup. And then the opposite side, for people who have been the type to cook always for a partner and perhaps overcook or don't enjoy cooking anymore, start cooking for people. If you find you overcook, start cooking for people that you care about. So it doesn't necessarily need to be, if you can't get to the step of immediately cooking just for yourself, start by cooking the amount that you would, and then start giving it to people that you care about, like your friends, your family, your co-workers. I know that some of my girlfriends love cooking, love baking, so they would give out cupcakes to friends when they knew that they were upset that no one in the family would eat their cooking, but they knew that other people would enjoy it too. And then slowly from there, you can start to re-enjoy. You need to essentially relearn your relationship with food. You need to really love it again. So taking small shifts like that is something I often tell my clients, sort of, this is how you sort of adjust yourself back into enjoying meals again. Have hosting parties, go to picnics, cater for some parties if you really want to cook again.
Oh, damn. I'm going to cater a party.
Some people do.
I'm committed. Oh, very cool. Well, I've learned a lot. I think our listeners are going to love this. Claire, do you have any final questions?
No, I mean, that's amazing. I think we've given a pretty well-rounded like introduction to some possibly new ideas for the people listening. Ways it's just another area you can support yourself and give yourself the best chance of having a good day. I think I said earlier, is paying attention to your diet and your food. Yeah. It's so huge.
The gut.
And the gut.
So
because it's all linked.
Absolutely. And if anyone doesn't believe us, just try it for a couple weeks. And I can't imagine that it wouldn't make a difference. But amazing. But I was going to say, if I'm wrong, please tell me. So Paddy, obviously you're a wealth of knowledge and wisdom, and you are running your own coaching practice. Yep. So tell us what you're up to and where people can find you.
Perfect. So you can find me, first of all, on Instagram. I'm always posting stories up on there and posting on my feed. And also, if you want to reach out, I have my own website, myhealinggut.com, as well as my own YouTube channel. So you can see videos that I have on there. And
I didn't know that.
Connect with me. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
YouTube.
Very cool. I'm actually a really big fan of the YouTube cooking videos. So that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's your YouTube?
So my YouTube is My Healing Gut, and you'll see foods like I've put up some videos about anti-inflammatory snacks, what I eat in a week, what I eat in a day, sort of how to transition towards an anti-inflammatory diet if that's something that you feel like you need for your autoimmune disease, or if you feel like you just want more whole foods in general.
And ideas. That's the thing about cooking and preparing meals for yourself and shopping. Sometimes it just helps to get ideas and get inspired.
Exactly. And to know that you're not alone in worrying about this or being sort of unsure about how to do it. It's very normal.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah. And so, maybe we have some listeners who are like, do I have an autoimmune disease now? Like, I thought I just was supposed to feel terrible all the time. Like obviously talk to your doctor, but keep asking questions. You shouldn't be feeling bad. Like you should feel good going through life with your body. So yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Advocate for yourself.
That's such a good point. I think it's something that people kind of miss or forget once you get in this slump of either feeling tired all the time or achy or bloated. You can start to think that it's just kind of how it is, and doesn't have to.
It doesn't have to be. If you get it, you start getting curious, start looking it up, start asking questions, and start going to your GP, your doctors, and sort of taking care of yourself. This is essentially taking care of yourself by being curious about what's happening to you. So,
and about this crazy machine that we're moving around and calls our body. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad you wanted to do this. And this has really been a blast.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
it's been amazing.
You.
I'm so happy to hopefully help some of your listeners. And it was so lovely to see you too. Or talk to you too. Also, I'm seeing you too in real time. But yes.
We loved it as well. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who tuned in.
Yay!
We will see you next week.
Thanks for listening to X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on.
If you liked this episode, tag us on your Instagram story so we can connect with you.
And you can find me, Claire, on Instagram at Claire Lofthouse.
And me, Janice, on Instagram at Janice Formicella. If you'd like to join our online community, find us on Facebook at Breakups, Broken Hearts, and Moving On.
And here's a preview of our next episode. Couples should avoid the pet thing together.
Yes.
You do not co-own an animal. Even if you're like in a marriage, there is one person always, I think, who should have precedence.
Most people would never think of it in those terms at all. And you wouldn't even want to have the conversation who's the actual, in quotes, owner.
Yeah. And here's the thing. You gotta be able to have uncomfortable conversations with your partner. Think about it this way. It's the same as having like a prenup going into a marriage. I think it's romantic. You're not staying together for something other than the fact that you just love this person.